Alright guys, welcome back to my NFL week 3 predictions, and part of me is like, I don't know if I want to keep doing these because, like, not only have I been wrong, but a lot of people have been wrong because we had, like, week 2 alone, we had some crazy finishers in week 2. So, yeah, there's a part of me that's like, I like to keep going because it's like to do something different. Like, it's something fun to do here on the channel and make it like a lot different than you know my normal stuff. You know, really have some fun with other stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, do I want to keep going? Like, do I want to keep doing this? Because, like, I've been wrong on a few, but that's just kind of the game. You don't expect, like, that's the thing about what I love about football is, like, expect the unexpected some of the times. And trust me, 3 times in a row, literally, like, 3 times in a freaking row this weekend, we had major upsets for games I kind of predicted the other way, going the other way. So let's see if that happens again. Starting with our Thursday night game, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns lost, literally choked in 2 minutes against the Jets of all teams, and the Steelers lost to the Patriots, who were mediocre at best, and they're nothing. The Steelers have literally shown that they are nothing without T.J. Watt because their offense is shit. Mitch Trubisky's just awful, and I'm pretty sure if he loses this game, Trubisky's going to get pulled, and Kenny Pickett's going to go in. I'm 85% sure that that's what's going to happen. If Trubisky just sucks in this game and they don't win it against the Browns, then, yeah, he's getting pulled. But the Browns really browned it at the end. You don't deserve happiness, not after what you did, Cleveland. Jacoby Brissett did pretty well, but this game, like, that team is literally made of Nick Chubb. Like, that's it. Nick Chubb is literally the only thing holding that team together, kind of like my team. Anyway, I'm going to give this slightly to the Browns because I just don't trust the I don't trust the Steelers' offense. It's awful, and the defense is literally built on T.J. Watt, who is literally out for the next few weeks. So I'm going to give it slightly to the Browns despite, you know, not being good. Yeah. So, moving on to the game I'm most excited for this weekend, and I would love to watch, the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. This is a battle for the AFC East, and yeah, Dolphins literally made a massive comeback in the last quarter of the game against the Ravens, where the Ravens had them dead to rights, and then they lost, funny enough, 28-3. If you're a football fan, then you understand that joke. But yeah, the Bills murdered the Titans. Like, I was literally watching that team. I was watching my team just get pummeled by the Titans on Monday night, and I was like that kid in The Simpsons in that Krusty episode, where I was like, stop! Stop! He's already dead! Yeah, that was me watching the Bills. So the Dolphins are intriguing. I think Mike McDaniel is a great head coach. And Josh Allen and the rest of the team is just brutal. There are some injuries that I am, like, looking at, like, that could be the injuries are becoming a problem, but I do see that this team is I do see this team still being just completely brutal. Like, it is definitely like this. This is the team to beat in the AFC. Not just the AFC, I mean the entire league. But the Dolphins do look like they are going to be a contender as well, at least for a good wild card spot. This is going to be the most. I think this is going to be a game to really see and really spark that restart that Dolphins-Bills rivalry back from the 70s and all the way from the 70s to the 90s. Yeah, I'm giving this one to the Bills, however, slightly, but I am in hopes for a good, like, knockout, drag-out fight between the two. So next up we have the Bengals and the Jets. Jets won because Browns are going to brown, and the Bengals are on 0-2. I'm gonna give it to the Bengals. I'm gonna say that right now, but I will say that the Bengals are kind of like in panic. It should be in panic mode. I know we're just now starting the season, but Bengals, like, Joe Burrow is getting sacked a lot, and wasn't he supposed to have a stronger offensive line? This team is starting to become a little suspect. There is such a thing as Super Bowl hangover, and even if you don't win, you have a problem. So, I'm giving it to the Bengals because I don't see the Jets pulling off what they did before. But I'm going to give it to the Bengals, but if they lose here, there's problems. Like, there's trouble in paradise, Bengals, and you might become the Bungles if you can't pull it off against the Jets. And sometimes all you need is a win to right the ship. Next up, we have the Raiders taking on the Titans. Raiders is another team that choked in the last minute. And then we have the Titans, who just got Tennessee Titans, who got murdered. Ryan Tannehill was playing probably his worst game I've ever seen, not in the offseason. I mean, the playoffs. And I think if he continues to make those throws like he did before, it's time to. I'm not the one to be like, yeah, we should put in Malik Willis, the new QB, but yeah, Tannehill is killing this team, and he keeps it up. And it's not just him; the whole team just seems out of sync. And I get it; it was the Buffalo Bills, and you could say, like, yeah, Buffalo is just that good. And yeah, both teams need a win here, and both the Raiders and the Titans are both 0-2. I'm not calling this a tank bowl, but seriously, Titans, like I said with the Bengals, guys, we need a W here. And the Raiders, even though they have Devontae Adams, it's very clear that Josh McDaniels just sucks as a head coach. So yeah. We lose here, it's panic time. Anyway, moving on to the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. Saints literally gave up the game to because Tom Brady is, king of bullshittery. And the Panthers, well, the Panthers are 0-3 or 0-2 through some heartbreakers. I will say that I'm going to give this to the Saints because of that dominant defense. Now, Jameis Winston is still pretty banged up, and they may be alternating between him and Taysom Hill. But yeah, Panthers, I like you, but yeah, Matt Rule should be fired after this. Like, if they lose this game, yeah, just get him ruled out of the coaching job. See what I did there? His name's Matt Rule, and yeah. Anyway, so moving on to the next game, which is the Ravens and the Patriots. Ravens choke the game. You failed hard. And I get it, like, a part of it is because you're dealing with rookie secondaries. But at the same time, you should have kept the foot on the gas. You really should have put the foot on the gas throughout this whole fucking game. Now, the Patriots, their offense is just garbage. That defense doesn't look any better. I do think that the Ravens, I'm giving this to the Ravens because, yeah, I, for the life of me, do not trust Matt Patricia doing offense, especially after some bullshit calls in the Patriots and in the Steelers and Dolphins game. And the Ravens are probably going to be looking to take their anger out on somebody. And they're looking at you, Patriots. Like, they're going to look at you and go, yeah, you're done. Like, the rest of the Ravens are just going to look at them and go, yeah, we are gonna just bend you over and ass blast you into tomorrow, Patriots. Anyway, so next up is the Lions and the Vikings. Lions got their first win of the new season, and they looked dominant. Even though, yeah, they did kind of give away some of the points, I still think they kept the foot on the gas, unlike some other teams, and not choked the game away. Vikings looked completely fucking like the Titans looked complete. The Vikings looked like garbage, mostly because of not so much the rest of the team, but I will say the most of it lands on Kirk Cousins. It definitely goes to Kirk Cousins on the problem. So yeah, he is kind of a liability. The Vikings kind of prove that once again they have all this talent, but they squander it. And Kirk Cousins is a mediocre coach at best. I mean, not coach, QB at best. So Vikings, you got to get rid of Cousins after this. You got to either draft a quarterback or go into some free agency, because that's what's holding you back from retaking this division. I still have them taking a wild card, but this kind of is like, yeah, you guys got to get some shit together. I am giving this to the Lions. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm giving this one to the Lions. They look like they are ready to make some noise. And after that battle, now, you could easily say, oh, the Commanders were that bad. Yeah, but they kept the foot on the gas, and they didn't stop. And I think they're going to do that again against the Vikings. So I'm giving this one to the Lions. Next up, we have the Eagles and the Commanders. Eagles put on a clinic against the Vikings. And the Commanders, you have Carson Wentz, who's either going to show up as all-time QB or liability. No in between. I'm giving this one to the Eagles because they look so dominant, and even Jalen Hurts looks like he's really developing well here. So, yeah, I'm giving this one to the Eagles. Next up, we have the Colts and the Chiefs. Colts, you got shut out by the You just can't win in Jacksonville, man. You guys just cannot win in Jacksonville. The Chiefs look dominant. This is another game that just looks like maybe this could be the game for the Colts to get their shit together. But I don't see that. This is going to the Chiefs. I'm giving this one to the Chiefs. Next up, we have the Texans and the Bears. Holy shit, how do we get to a tank bowl already? Like, it's not that the two teams are so good, like, I can't decide, like, who could come out on top in this great matchup. It's more like, who's gonna suck less? Like, that's what I really am thinking, is that who's gonna suck less. I'm gonna give this the Bears just look so bad. The Bears really did look so bad in this intro. I mean, in this they won ugly the first week, and then they just got their ass kicked. Although I will say they got cheated out of a play in the Sunday night game. But I'm gonna give this one to the Texans. But this could go either way. It's just who sucks more, really. Now, next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Chargers. Jacksonville's rolling pretty high after shutting out the Colts. Chargers, devastating loss after, everything they did against, they basically rallied against the Chiefs but still lost, and Justin Herbert put himself on his whole self on the line. So I am going to give this to the Chargers. I think they're going to rally here. I still think Jacksonville is not a good team. They still got a way to go. And I will say that the Jacksonville Jaguars are probably, they are still going to be like a top 10 draft. They're going to be that, but I don't think they're going to be the number one again. I do think there's going to be improvement at least, but I don't see it here. I think the Chargers are going to look to make a statement out of the Jaguars. So next up, we have the LA Rams and the Cardinals. We got an NFC, good old NFC divisional game. And Rams, even though you won ugly. It did not look good. Cardinals basically butt-fucked around until they suddenly made a massive comeback. This is a tough one because it's really hard to gauge. I'm going to give this slightly to the Rams because I just feel like they are going to rally here, and the Cardinals just seem off. The Cardinals just gave up, just putzed around most of the Raiders game. Anyway, and then we have our other big game, the Packers and the Buccaneers. Bucks had to sign a QAnon-believing anti-vaxxer Cole Beasley because Mike Evans got himself suspended for this game. And yeah, the Packers they've got some injuries, and I still think they're trying to figure out their identity. They better figure it out pretty damn fast. I'm going to give this to the Packers because I think that defense is going to give Tom Brady fits, and that offense is just getting chipped away. But at the same time, I think both Rodgers and I think the Bucs and the Packers, this is going to be more of a defense-heavy game. But I'm going to give it slightly to the Packers. Next up, we have the Falcons and the Seahawks. This is another game of who's going to suck more. Geno Smith, they wrote you too soon. Yeah, I think Seahawks defense is going to carry this one. So I'm not going to give this one to the Falcons. They're going to have here's what's going to happen. They're going to have a lead and they're going to blow it. That's what's always happens. Then we have our Sunday night game against the 49ers and the Broncos. Trey Lance going down and Jimmy G taking his throne again. Meanwhile, you have Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett unable to do shit for the past. They won against the Texans, but they won ugly. Like, I don't trust them at all. Like, it's only, I get that it's only like we're getting into week 3, but like, yeah, it's. This is sus. This is very sus. So I'm going to give this one to the 49ers. I would have given it to the Broncos, but but with Trey Lance out and Garoppolo in, yeah. I do think this could be a dominant game, but still, I'm going to give this one to the 49ers. Finally, for our Monday night game, we got the Cowboys and Giants. Giants have derped their way into being 2-0. Cowboys found a new QB in their backup, Cooper Rush, who I'm pretty sure they're going to try to make QB1 even when Dak comes back, because Jerry Jones is a piece of shit, but who knows? I think Cowboys defense is going to give them fits, and I am going to sadly give this one to the Cowboys, mostly on the grounds of their, I don't think the Giants just won ugly the other 2 times. They've just somehow drunkenly stumbled into 2 wins. But this could go either way. I would love to see the Giants go 3-0, especially against the Cowboys, but I don't see that happening here, sadly. But this is the one. I think this is the team. If they're going to show that you are not just fluking in these wins 2-0, I would say this is a good chance, New York, to go 3-0 against, beating the Cowboys, even though they don't have Dak. They still have a lot of they still have a lot of talent behind them to back it up. Anyway, so there's my rankings. But like I said, I could be totally wrong on all of them. So we'll see how it goes. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of all this? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.